guys, if you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go. All right, guys, it is Thursday, July 18th for another hour. It's 11:01 p.m. Eastern Time, and I hope you're all doing well. What we're going to do now is get into some Q-related news, and there is plenty of that. So, and if you missed it, I just uploaded a video on the Q posts from the 17th and the 18th today. So this is the second video for tonight, and it is going to be Q-related news. There's lots of that, a ton of it. And also, I wanted to remind you guys that have been asking me to provide a post office box. I have done that. I have got a post office box in town. So I've got that for you, and it is in the video description below. So if you want that for any reason, to drop me a hello or for whatever reason, it is there now. So I did listen and I did do that. So, all right, now let's get into the news. And let's start off with this. I've got a lot of news here, which we don't even have a hope of getting through, but I'm going to try and get to the most important stuff. All right, the deadly Ebola outbreak in the the Democratic Republic of the Congo is now a global emergency. They should have declared it a global emergency long before now, but they didn't. So, yeah, I'm thinking honestly, and I know some of you, I just saw, I'm sorry, it's ADD. I just saw this over here and I'm like, say what? Anyway, yeah, I think that they are wanting it to spread. If you ask me, that is the way they are behaving. And I think that all of these new things that are coming up, they're not new. The dengue fever, that's not new. Measles, that's not new. What is new is the hemorrhagic aspect and how many people are dying from measles and dengue. Dengue is at epidemic proportions around the world. If you look at it, it's unbelievable. And there are people dying like crazy from it when literally, I don't know how long ago it was that I was in on the Mosquito Coast, but at that time they said, yeah, you have to be careful, and you will wish you are dead if you get it, but it won't kill you. Well, it evidently something's happened to it because it's killing people. And the same thing with measles. Measles was never a big thing. Never. I mean, you never heard of anybody dying from the measles. I am told that they did. Very, very young people, people that are, their immune systems were compromised, but very, very rare. Not anymore. And wouldn't you know that the Congo now has a epidemic of measles. So is it really the measles? Personally, I don't think all the cases that they're calling measles are measles. I think that some of them are, or maybe all of them are Ebola. So now that it's being talked about, I don't feel quite so conscious to have to code the words because people are actually talking about it and it's out in the news now. At least it is, since the World Health Organization has declared it a global emergency. And it says the virus has spread to a major city. More than 1,600 people have died over the past year. Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe it for a second. There are many, many more people that have died than that. It's kind of like the numbers came out in Louisiana about how many people died in Hurricane Katrina. You ask anybody that lived there and they will laugh in your face if you give them the official death toll. Now, I was there and I did a lot of looking into it, and I spoke to somebody that was covering the story, and Yeah, we're not giving. They're not. They did not give the real news. I'm just going to leave it at there, right there for that, because you know, um, that's not what we're covering today. But there's a lot there, and maybe I will at some point do a video on that. I always say that I'm going to do a video on this, I'm going to do a video on that, but then there's always so much news and so much queue that it's hard to keep up with everything. But there's a very interesting story behind Katrina. If you've ever had the, you know, whatever, the curiosity to go in and really, really dig into it. All right, so it's now considered a global emergency, and it should have been long before now. But that's, and this is still uploading. It's being very, very slow. This is the first video, but hopefully it'll get uploaded when, you know, the YouTube gods deem it okay. All right, let's go to this now. And I never heard what this was. There was a major power outage on Staten Island. If anyone knows what the deal is with that, let me know. And breaking, several children dead after truck carrying students plunges off of cliff. Just want to see where this is. This is something new I haven't seen. 11 children have died after a dump truck carrying students. Why would a dump truck be carrying students? I'm just saying, it seems odd. Off a cliff in Cebu City, Philippines, according to local media. Well, okay, it's the Philippines. The children were on their way to attend a Department of Education event for Health Week. Over 20 others have been taken to the hospital. That is very, very sad. That just popped out to me there. And so, yeah, there was this major power outage that hit Staten Island, and I'm sure if you're from New York, you know this, but I haven't heard what it was. I guess 2,500 people without power, so I don't know what is going on with all these power outages. I don't know. It just seems to be an epidemic of power outages. So let's go back here because there is lots to get into. And let's look at this. Now, somebody brought this to my attention. This is from 2011, but remember I had made a comment that Naomi Campbell was supposedly had an island with, oh crap, turn off my ad blocker. Okay, all right. Naomi Campbell's Horus Eye Echo House. All right, now let's look at this. And this is from 2011, but I just wanted to show you this picture. And of course, this is another, this is the Eye of Horus, and it's another New World Order symbol, symbol of Luciferianism. It's a symbolic of many things. So very, very interesting. It's very interesting, but I know she was a supermodel, but how does she afford a private island? Like, supermodels must make a whole lot more money than I thought they do. But this is a very interesting place and shows us where her allegiance lies. Oh, well, look at this. She didn't buy it herself. As lavish birthday gifts go, it's hard to top this one. Naomi Campbell received an island vacation home for her 41st birthday from her Russian billionaire boyfriend. And I'm not going to try to mangle his name. According to numerous online reports, it's shaped like the Egyptian Eye of Horus on a location known as Cleopatra Island in Turkey's Gulf of Gorkova. So there you go. Has 25 bedrooms and 5 lounges. If the world ends, Campbell and Dorinan and a few dozen of their lucky friends might just be able to survive, or not. So there you go. It is a beautiful house, if you ask me. I would not want a house shaped in as the Eye of Horus, but it is a beautiful house. If you look at it here, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. I can't even imagine how much money that would have cost, an island and a house like that. But hey, I didn't have to pay for it, so I don't care. And there is a boat docked. Well, that's not a boat, that's a honkin' yacht, if you ask me. But yes, obviously, Naomi Campbell's doing very well. Notoriously hard to work for, I've heard. Notoriously hard to work for or with. All right, let's go back to Q-related news. And let's look at this, shall we? Of course we shall. Here we go. Maybe or maybe not. All right. Google has merged with Big Pharma to become its own pharmaceutical company. What else is Google going to get into? They're already listening to us on all these little, what is it? Google, the iHome or something like that. And I mean, Google is just into everything. I mean, they're taking over the world. It seems that way. Anyway, let's just and look at this. Google to block all anti-cancer, anti-vax, and anti-GMO websites at the browser level as tech giant goes all in with pharma drug cartels. And I love this website. It is Natural News, and they have really wonderful articles, especially if you're into natural health. But as you're probably aware, honest and accurate information about natural health and wellness is increasingly hard to come by on Google now that the tech platform is altering autocomplete results and even banning entire websites in an effort to prevent users from pulling up anything on the web other than big pharma propaganda. While it might appear that this is just another manifestation of big tech's collusion with big pharma, which has deep pockets and thus plenty of influence, the truth is that Google has actually morphed into its own pharmaceutical conglomerate, which means it now has a vested interest in censoring the truth about superfoods, dietary supplements, and other non-pharma approaches to healthy living that threaten drug and vaccine profits. Now, I don't make any secret about the fact that I am not a big fan of big pharma at all. In fact, I try to deal with things that come up naturally, if at all possible. If at all possible, I deal with it naturally, and often I get much better results. So this is a little disconcerting if you ask me, because many people do not know that Google does this. So they're just searching through Google because that's what they've always used, not realizing that everything is being censored, and their search results are tailor-made for them and towards the narrative that Google wants you to believe, which is poppycock. That's right. I called it poppycock. It's almost as fun to say as Papadopoulos. That's right. I said Papadopoulos. All right. So, as recently reported by Gary Null and Richard Gale, Google actually now has a pharmaceutical division that's headed by none other than the former chairman on global vaccine business for GlaxoSmithKline, a multinational drug giant that's repeatedly been implicated for criminal fraud. As it turns out, Google's parent company, Alphabet, has launched, yes, Alphabet, the one that was the largest donor, the largest single donor to Hillary Clinton's campaign. So we know what they stand for, has launched not just one, but two separate pharmaceutical companies within the past 6 years. The first was Calico, founded 2013 and run by Arthur Levinson, the former CEO of Genentech, whose I don't know how to pronounce that, Rituzan drug for lymphoma has been implicated in multiple patient deaths. Do they care? Not as long as the money keeps rolling in. They don't care. And they have a vested interest in keeping cancer incurable, which I don't believe for a second that it is. In fact, I have a friend that was given only months to live. Well, she's still alive. That was like, 15, 20 years ago, and she's cancer-free, but they still just say, oh, it's in remission. Okay. And she did it naturally. She refused to take chemotherapy. She said, well, if it kills me, it kills me. I'm going to go to a naturopath, and I'm going to do exactly what they tell me to do. And she did, and she's alive. The second Google-founded pharmaceutical company is Verily Life Sciences, previously known as Google Life Sciences, which we reported had released 20 million mosquitoes infected with a fertility-destroying bacteria into the heart of California. Well, wasn't that nice of them? Both Calico and Verily Life Sciences are actively partnering with other drug companies, including GlaxoSmithKline, to create even more new drug companies, as well as new classes of drugs like bioelectric medicines that they hope will become blockbusters that reap maximum profits. Google recently formed a $715 million partnership with Galvani Bioelectronics as one example, which is being chaired by the same former GlaxoSmithKline chairman of global vaccine business that heads up Google's pharmaceutical division. Conflict of interest much? Google today is not only a weapon for promoting the pharmaceutical agenda, but now also a drug company itself. Null and Gale explain in their analysis. Merck & Co., the manufacturer of the infamous MMR vaccine for measles, mumps, and rubella, is another big name in the drug industry that's similarly connected to Google, with Mary Ellen Coe, Google's president of customer solutions, currently also sitting on Merck's board of directors. Yeah, no conflict of interest there. No. Merck, as you may recall, is considered to be one of the world's big four vaccine manufacturers, with a whole lot to lose when parents exempt their children from getting vaccinated. This would explain why Google, just like Amazon and many other tech platforms, have been busy censoring content that questions vaccine safety and efficacy. And they sure do. And, now if you decide not to vaccinate your child, you are viewed as, a child abuser, really. You're just viewed as a non-entity, like an anomaly. It's awful what parents have to go through when they choose to not vaccinate their child. And, it doesn't matter what side of the debate you're on. Parents should have the right to decide what is best for their child, and unless they're putting their child in imminent danger. But also the fact that, people say, yeah, but you're putting our children in danger. No, they're not, because if your child's vaccinated, they're not going to get it anyway, right? Doesn't matter who's not vaccinated around you. If you're vaccinated, then that child's not going to make you sick. I'm just saying. So anyway, this strategy laid out 6 years ago has picked up steam, whereby now companies such as Google and Facebook have been absorbed into the pharmaceutical machinery. Null and Gale go on to explain. The dire results from this marriage are already being felt, as Wikipedia and other virtual social media have become just another mouthpiece for Big Pharma. For more related news about Big Tech's marriage to Big Pharma and what it'll do to free speech online, do we have free speech online? Because I don't think we do. Maybe we did at one time. I don't even believe we did. I think it's all been an illusion for a very long time. Personally, that's my personal view, and you are more than welcome to disagree. I like it when people disagree because we all learn from each other. Anyway, for more related news, be sure to check out Big Pharma, Fetch.news, and EvilGoogle.news. And in addition to becoming its own, this is something that affects us all, and that's why I'm taking time to bring this, because it does affect us all. In addition to becoming its own pharmaceutical conglomerate, Google has also now been exposed as a co-conspirator in illegal online drug sales. According to reports, Google has already raked in well over $1 billion from illegal online pharmacies, which, unlike natural health content, are not being blocked from search results or removed from Google's autocomplete feature. But don't they say, oh, they just have our best interest in mind? Really? Yeah, they'll any natural supplements they will censor. But, a drug company from China that's selling you goodness only knows what are in those pills that you're buying, that's not censored. Oh, but they only have our very best interest in mind. The Department of Justice, DOJ, is reportedly planning to claw back about $500 million of that ill-gotten profit in the form of fines, though these fines have yet to be levied. Meanwhile, Amazon recently spent $1 billion to acquire a drug company known as PillPack that pre-sorts medications, then ships them directly to customers' home in 49 states. According to reports, Amazon is working with another drug firm to invade medical records and identify patients that might be eligible for experimental cancer drugs. Well, isn't that nice? What about the HIPAA laws? Are they allowed to just invade our health records? I guess they can do anything they want, can't they? Meaning even more profits for both Amazon and Big Pharma. This would seem to be Big Tech's new business model, to use its unchecked censorship power and monopolistic control to continue silencing all truth while amassing even more power and control by acquiring and absorbing high-profit industries such as pharmaceuticals. The end game being the total destruction of free speech, competition, and individual liberty. Being destroyed a little bit more and a little bit more every day. Google has already admitted that it plans to thwart its search engine results to favor the drugs and vaccines produced by its own pharmaceutical companies, including the offerings of Verily Life Sciences. Badri, I can't pronounce that name, the head of global development operations at drug giant Novartis, told the media during a recent interview that Google is already engaging users who suffer from asthma symptoms, for instance, pointing them to asthma drugs that will financially benefit Verity and Google. Wow. If there's ever been a time to abandon Google for another search engine, it's now. Except make sure that the search engine that you choose, I use DuckDuckGo. I very rarely use Google unless it's just something that's, not controversial at all that I'm looking up. Like the movies that are on locally or something like that. But anything, research, no, I never use Google because they're not going to bring me the results that I want at all. And they're going to be, at the top are going to be what they want me to know. And I would like to shove it up their hinder parts because I do not like being babysat and my hands being held. This is what you can see and this is what you can't see. We don't want that, so we're going to hide it from you, okay? Yeah, no thank you. So this is why Google, Amazon, Facebook, and others are trying to erase and discredit all vaccine risk awareness books, posts, websites, information pages, etc. Because Big Tech has merged with Big Pharma. Null and Gale Warren, they are one and the same and have the same agenda. So there you go. I bet you won't hear that in the mainstream news, will you? No, you won't. You will never hear that. And how it's allowed, I don't know. Really, I don't know. All right, hang on here. I'm going to see if, oh, well, look at that. It's uploaded, so maybe some of you are watching it now, and we'll get it to Twitter there, and then I'll get back to bringing you the news, like right now. Okay, let's go back here. All right, now let's take a look at this, shall we? Now, I don't want to get into Jeffrey Epstein too deeply because, boy, oh boy, there's so much to do with this. But exclusive, married Israeli politician Ehud Barak is seen hiding his face entering Jeffrey Epstein's New York City townhouse, as bevy of young beauties were also spotted going into the mansion, despite his claim he never socialized with the pedophile and his girls. Okay then, picture's worth 1,000 words, isn't it? In photos obtained by DailyMail.com, Ehud Barak is seen hiding his face as he entered Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan mansion in January 2016. The 77-year-old Israeli former prime minister has long had business ties to Epstein. Sorry, I needed my trusty Cat Be Gone, Acme Cat Be Gone, coming to a tap near you. there's a hair there. I don't know if you can see it, but there really was. Seriously. Okay. Now, has long had business ties to Epstein, which current PM Benjamin Netanyahu's team is now trying to exploit. Barak was wearing a camel-style neck gaiter. What the heck is a neck gaiter? I don't know. Which he pulled high over his face, almost to his glasses, and later he was wearing it as a hat. Barak admitted the photos are of him, blaming his bizarre attire on being cold, but claims he had never met Epstein in the company of women or young girls. However, a bevy of young women are also seen going into the multi-millionaire's lavish home on the same day that married Barak was snapped. Epstein, 66, was arrested last week and charged with sex trafficking and conspiracy to traffic minors for sex. Wonder when he's going to be charged with murder. I'm hearing ripping and tearing of my couch, and I don't know. I can't see a cat. My new cat is so small, it can escape detection. All right, now, let me see if there is anything else juicy here. Now, there's the picture. He was cold. Yeah. Dark glasses he's got on, unless his glasses are the transitions type that automatically go dark. Yeah, there he is. Yep. And here's some young women. They look young. This one's definitely a teenager. This one, I'm not sure, but she looks like she just had her lips injected. And here's some more. Not sure about the ages there. And there's the guy himself, looking really snazzy in some sweat clothes. Yep. So there you go. Again, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Now, this is on dailymail.co.uk. If you want to go out and see more, there's lots of this article that I'm not reading because we'd be here all night. And, much as I love you guys, sooner or later, got to get some shut-eye. All right, now, let's go back. No, really, let's. And what is this about? No, really. What? Any of you guys live in LA? LAPD responding to reports of drone strapped with explosives in downtown LA. What was that about? I don't know. Haven't heard any more about it. The Los Angeles Police Department was responding to a reported drone strapped with explosive, possibly fireworks, near downtown Los Angeles on Wednesday. The LAPD's bomb squad was en route to the drone, which was reported on top of a building in the 1000 block of West 7th Street. No evacuations were immediately ordered. It was unclear who was in control of the device or if they intended harm. Yeah, people always, have drones with explosives strapped to them. I'm sure they meant no harm. This is a breaking story. Well, I don't know, but if any of you are in LA and you know anything about that, please put your comments in the comment section below, because I think we all want to know. And now, for something completely different. No, I don't know if it's completely different, but look at this. No, really, look at this. I know you probably all know this already because I should have brought it to you yesterday. Jeffrey Epstein denied bail. Judge says no amount can overcome danger to the community. Awesome. Because really, this should have been done a long time ago, because he's been free to offend, and really, I mean, he wasn't even, he was on probation. He was supposed to check in with a parole officer, check in with the police, and didn't. If that was anybody else, he would have been picked up and taken back to prison. Yeah. I know, because that was one of my jobs when I worked for the police. I had to sign prisoners that were out on probation back in, and if they had been drinking, there was alcohol on their breath or anything, you know, they were taken back to prison, and that happened. Now, you know what that was? That was my living room curtains coming crashing down. Yeah. That is not going to be easy to fix. Oh, woe is me. How many cats does it take until you are just absolutely right out of your mind? And now the cat is trapped in these curtains. And he better not claw them, because there, I had to free the cat from the silk curtains that I now can't afford to replace. All right, anyway, all right. Well, that's a little bit of excitement for us all tonight. Well, for me anyway. There you go. That's my life. Welcome to it. Okay, but you know what? We have to go on because, well, that's what we should do. Now, let me see this. Oh, yes. I think this might be interesting to you as well. Exclusive, Jeffrey Epstein's personal pilot poses in one of the $80 million fleet of planes pedophile used to seduce underage girls, as never before seen photos of the updated interior of Lolita Express jet are revealed. Now, let me... Oh my gosh. I've got two of them now. And he's so sweet. The little guy is so sweet. Really. Just an absolute little cuddle bunny. But it's like he goes on these rampages where, I know, it's a kitten, but I'm getting old. Okay, anyway. Jeffrey Epstein's chief pilot, Larry Vysotsky, or something around that, has flown the billionaire around the world for the past 20 years. Vysotsky flew Epstein's infamous Lolita Express, which has carried President Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker, and Naomi Campbell. The 59-year-old, nicknamed Captain Big Dog on his Instagram page, isn't afraid of showing off his boss's aircraft fleet worth $80 million. In one shot from July 2014, Vysotsky shows the Lolita Express taking off from Seattle. Daily Mail TV can reveal a series of new photos taken of the upgraded jet's interior, as it's alleged Epstein used the plane to shuttle underage girls between his homes. The luxury aircraft which was built in 1969, has been modernized around 2014 and now has a circular-shaped lounge with comfy chairs and a spacious bedroom. The luxury commercial jet has once again come into prominence following the arrest of Epstein on 2 charges of sex trafficking. Let's just take a look at the pictures. I'm not going to read it all. This is the famous jet, and this is Captain Big Dog. Yeah, the things he has seen. Right. And there's Epstein. Really, 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 really don't like that man. And here he is smiling, yeah, in front of the jet. And there it is, taking off from Seattle. That's a pretty big jet. And there it is. Epstein's pilot poses with Lolita jet and $80 million plane fleet. Yeah, he was working at St. Thomas Island doing something, and oh no, maybe that was the other guy that was the IT contractor. I don't know about this guy, but it is a beautiful jet, and of course it has a bedroom. Of course it has a bedroom with 2 pillows. Not just one for Epstein to stretch out on the long flight to Little St. James, but, you know, and there's an Apple computer and 2 comfy chairs, and yeah. And There we go. That's from the other direction. Probably a little bathroom back there. And that's looks like a very comfy chair. And windows there, you know, gotta see out. Gotta look down on the little people. And this is his closet. You don't need many clothes when you're going to, you know, Little St. James. What do you need clothes for? And yes, very nice. And this, I would assume, is the bathroom in here. And really, I don't care. And this is the circular. It's very nice. It's very nice. But then, you know, it would have to be if it's carrying, you know, the world's elite, carrying them into their snare, because that's what it is. They went and they partied hard, and they had their little girls and their little boys, and then they were blackmailed. That's how it worked. That's how, I bet, how he got all of his money. And here we are. More photos. It's how the other half live, I guess. I'm of the half that doesn't. All right, so there's that, and here's more pictures. It's very luxurious. Kind of makes you wonder where he got all his money. Sure does. And there's the island. Yep. Oh, well, look at more. And what's that? I guess that roomy bathroom. And the dining area has a gallery kitchen off it for preparing food. I mean, it's not that big a flight, people. But, you know, gotta go in luxury, I guess. And here is more. I mean, really, this is large enough to live in, and there's lots of people that don't even have homes this big. So there you go. All right, now let's go on to something else. And here is something else. We've got this by Charlie Kirk. This is your daily reminder that Barack Obama and Joe Biden ran military weapons to drug cartels in Operation Fast and Furious, including to El Chapo. An American was killed by these trafficked guns, and Joe Biden still says there were no scandals when he was in the White House. Well, Joe Biden is, you know, he's got the intelligence of a fern. No. Ferns are way more intelligent. I guess like a noodle. A pasta noodle. That's what he has the intelligence of. And he's about as appealing as a limp noodle. He probably owns his own. All right, I didn't say that. Okay, and let's look at this. Okay, no, these are too in-depth, and that is too in-depth. I'm going to save that for tomorrow because I am. And this by Joe M. from Twitter. This is interesting. Same colors as the Epstein Temple or workout facility. Oh, I bet you they did work out in that facility, didn't they? Epstein's blue striped markings are symbolic of an age-old Luciferian transgenerational elite cult whose goal is to eradicate Christ and permanently install the reign of evil on earth. The house of Lucian, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Others in the family are the Rothschilds and the Windsors. So, yeah, this is very, very symbolic. And we do know that symbolism is their downfall. It sure is. And more people are becoming aware of that symbolism and what it means. Now, this is good news. Huge victory. The Born Alive Act is effective in Texas now. Way to go, Texas. And I do understand that the Texas governor, Greg Abbott, is a really good guy. He signs bill to stop infanticide, care for babies born alive after abortion. So we know that he's got clean hands, at least as far as that goes, or he wouldn't have signed that bill. But that is very, very good news for Texans, for all of us really, because I hope that other states will follow suit. It's absolutely deplorable that a child could be born alive and then killed. That's not abortion, that's infanticide. So, yeah. Well, I actually happen to think abortion is infanticide as well, because you are taking a life. And there's no doubt about it. Now, some of this we have looked at. Let me see if there's anything else we can get into. This is old stuff, but all right, we're going to come back up here then, and I am going to do one of these. Let's look at NXIVM in Mexico, and then I might look at the next one, I'm not sure. Okay, now this person has, it's Jules, and I do follow her. She has a little cat face as her, what do you call that? Profile picture. I don't know what's wrong with me, man. I don't know, but the cat knocked down my curtains. Now I'm gonna have creepy people looking in. All right, okay. I'm okay now. I left for a while, but I'm back. All right. Now, this is a fascinating thread. The first one, Sunday, July 14th, NXIVM Mexico thread. In my research since the NXIVM trial ended almost 4 weeks ago, I discovered that NXIVM Mexico is massive, with ties to government, Hollywood, and media. They still have big plans. And Mexico City holds first ever Day of the Dead parade. It says, thanks, James Bond. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I don't know. Not a big James Bond fan. And 2, during the trial, Mark Vicente testified that Keith Raniere bragged that NXIVM was so massive with so many interconnected companies under the NXIVM umbrella that it couldn't be taken down. Really? Well, even the U.S. government said it was big. Much discovery evidence sealed. And 3, so how big is it? Remember the Sony hacks? In 2015, it was revealed via those leaked emails that the Mexican government paid $20 million in the form of tax breaks, etc., to Sony MGM for a script rewrite on the upcoming James Bond film Spectre. Okay, that's where James Bond fits in. The result was the opening sequence below, and the contract for the new annual Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, I hope I pronounced that right, parade was issued by the Mexican government to Anima Inc., a NXIVM company. Full video, and this is the, I don't know if, okay, there's no sound, but this is the Day of the Dead parade in the James Bond Spectre. Not really sure why you would want to celebrate the dead, which is why I don't celebrate Halloween, because I think it's barbaric. I know. I'm going to get hate messages. I know I will, because you'll say, what's wrong with letting the little kids dress up? You're celebrating death and evil, and you know, I have a problem with that. All right. Actually, here's the full video so you can hear it with sound. The parade itself was a fake. There never had been a Dia de los Muertos parade in Mexico City till now. Nobody knew anything about NXIVM's involvement. And I'm not going to play that because I don't want to see it. If you want to see it, you can just Google it and it'll come right up because Google wants you to see it. I'm quite sure of that. All right. And NXIVM, the news of the $20 million payment by the Mexico government to Hollywood sparked outrage by the Mexican people and went viral on social media networks. The hypocrisy of the criminal government trying to improve its image was captured here. And it says, not even James Bond can rescue Mexico's image, Mexico City, while James Bond is cavorting in downtown Mexico City. Another giant skeleton props leaping over rooftops and jumping into, I don't know. I just wanted to read to you about the connection of this all to NXIVM. Government's requirement, film at least 4 minutes of film in Mexico City portraying Mexican police as favorable. Projection was opposite of reality. 43 college students had disappeared just months before their deaths covered up. People protested versus media spin. Bogus Bond violence was being filmed. Thousands marched in Mexico City. The 1 month anniversary of the students' disappearance. Well, hang on. Here we go. While bogus Bond violence was being filmed, thousands marched in Mexico City on the 6-month anniversary of the students' disappearance in Guerrero. Some of the families have been touring the United States to garner support for demands for justice and to emphasize their rejection of the government's official story, which is largely based on an unverifiable match of one tiny bone fragment to one missing student's DNA. So this is filming the latest James Bond movie Spectre in downtown Mexico on March 25th, 2015 in Mexico City. Well, it's not a new video anymore, is it? And it says, why should projecting a distorted and unrealistic image of Mexico in a Bond film matter so much to officials in a country where everybody knows the reality? That this is a country where 43 rural teachers' college students disappeared half a year ago into a vast archipelago, I can't pronounce that, of the dead, where myriad clandestine graves yield remains that are never identified. Yes, I think we're all aware of that aspect of Mexico. So let's come down here and see if there's anything else here. And it said, okay, so Hollywood ceded creative control to Mexico for $20 million. Who authorized the $20 million to MGM and Sony when no program was in place for that kind of money? And who gave the multi-million-dollar contract to Anima for Dia de la Muertes, who is Anima Inc.? Who are they? Who are these people? Well, we're going to find out. And the language of Anima is based on the humanitarian philosophical model of Keith Raniere and the artistic vision of some other guy named Alexander Gonzalez Anaga, I don't know, something like that. You know how I butcher names. You know, I'm known for it. So, yeah, look, these are the founders of Maxima. Or Anima, rather, not Maxima. Anima. And, yeah, NXIVM has ties all over the place. In fact, to a facility about 15 minutes from here. Yep. It was built like Fort Knox, and nobody could get in or out of it. And if you did, you were really not treated well. And it was supposedly a spa. Yeah, a spa that never had any customers, but did have trucks coming and going in the middle of the night, Seagram trucks. Yeah. All right, let's go down here. All of the above, hang on here. Where did we go here? This is not my best effort tonight, and I apologize. From things crashing down to cats being sprayed to, you know, screwing names, you know, just not a banner night for me. All in above photo were NXIVM ESP members, Anima Inc., a theatrical production company tasked with Mexico promotions worldwide, Dia de Mertes, Moscow, Central American and Caribbean game ceremonies, bicentennial celebration in Mexico, Pan Am Games. Well. And NXIVM Mexico's Anima Inc. is very well connected. Collaborators, a who's who of creative and artistic talent. Collective experiences ranging from Olympic Games to the Super Bowl show with Madonna. Archived website link here for more information. And I will continue this thread tomorrow evening with all the government and elite connections programs to NXIVM. In the meantime, I would appreciate it if people could share this thread. It's what I'm doing. With other researchers, because I don't have it all, and a question: who was really in charge? Yeah. Does anyone want me talking about NXIVM Mexico and the connections to Hollywood and government? I was notified yesterday that I somehow made a government trending list. Wasn't sure about what that meant, and now this. Maybe a coincidence. And down here it says she got sent this from Twitter. Password change required. What happened? We have detected unusual activity on your account. For your security, your account has been locked until you change your password. What you can do to secure your account, please change your password before logging back in. Anima Inc., a NXIVM company, won 10 Telly Awards and was nominated for 3 Emmys. Opening ceremony of the Central American and Caribbean Games, Veracruz 2014, broadcast on ESPN, 150 million viewers. Where was this info in our NXIVM coverage? First time hearing about it. Well, actually, I heard about it before. That's why I'm bringing it to you. I just heard it today. Unbelievable. And it was founded by Keith Raniere. How well connected is he? I didn't dream that he was that well connected. I knew that he had lots of facilities, probably not all of which are shut down. I would doubt if they are. And 14, here's one article looking at the Sony hacked emails asking where the $20 million Mexico funding came from for Spectre, suggesting alternative sources. Also, who authorized the funding of the Hollywood Disney-style Anima productions themselves? It's a good question. It's a very good question. Answer: key political ties inside Mexican government linked to NXIVM Enterprise, including multiple Salinas family connections. Emiliano Salinas, head NXIVM Mexico, son of former Mexican President Carlos Salinas. NXIVM Peace Movement, and what is this? As vice president of I can't pronounce all these words, Emiliano Salinas oversees the long-term business and financial strategy of the fund and the fund's business and interfaces directly with current and potential investors. So this is his investment firm. He has a PhD in economics from Harvard and a bachelor degree in economics from the prestigious ITAM in Mexico. And there was something else I saw there. This. Oh yeah, that's the, looks awfully familiar, like the pedophile symbol. That is his financial, financial business, what is it? Or maybe it's not. Okay. Anyway, it's a fund, and I'm not sure. That is not the this says in lock ec. I don't know where she's getting that from, but this is very interesting. I don't want to belabor it because this has probably been a difficult video for you to get through, because it's been a difficult one for me to get through. I don't know. I'm just off my game tonight, I guess. Anima Inc. co-founder and NXIVM member Alexander Gonzalez Anaya, sister of Jose Gonzalez Anaya, on President Enrique Pena Nieto's administration, SS, then finance minister, former Pemex CEO, also brother-in-law to former President Salinas. So some of these are, oh, that's the co-founder. Okay, the co-founder of Anima, which is linked to Rainier. So there you go. We got lots of ties happening here, and I am going to continue looking into this. And, well, I'm going to continue following her because she's obviously looking into this. Her name is Jules at Oliver's Wild, Oliver's WILDE. So if you want to follow her, you can keep up with it yourself. And there's a lot of stuff she has, a lot of information, and a lot of connections she's made. Yeah, there's 8,000 members of NXIVM in Mexico. And yeah. Anyway, I think we are going to, there's a lot here and a lot more than I can actually dive into tonight because this is much longer. I may go through it and just kind of summarize, and because NXIVM, that's something that's interesting to me because of the ties here, up here, and I really love that to be investigated. I am told that it is being investigated, so let's hope that's true. Anyway, I think I am going to leave it there for tonight because you've probably had quite enough by now, and we'll be back tomorrow. And what we'll do tomorrow is if there are Q posts, we will cover those. And if not, we will cover the Q related news. And if there are both, I will try to cover both. And so that's it for tonight. I hope you guys stay safe, stay well, stay blessed. And it's time for shut-eye, at least here in the Eastern time zone. So good night. And keep seeking truth.